Good morning, YouTube. So, I've been doing a lot recently and not posting as much. I'm really not posting as much as I had in the past. Part of that is because I I want to I post when I'm like feeling inspired. And sometimes I feel inspired, but then I stop myself because I've already posted about that. I've already posted about that so many times. Oh gosh, I'm going to share something with you that I shared in one of my podcasts. So I enjoy listening to Gary Vee's material. I, I don't know. I just feel like the guy is the real deal. I don't know. And a lot of people that we shouldn't judge, but sometimes it's challenging to figure out what is like on point and what is not. And I just feel like his material is generally on point. And he he was talking about things that f us up. It was actually, and he says the word, he cusses a lot in his material, like a lot. Which was one of the first things that I ever saw of his, that he had been asked to speak at something, and but they said, you really shouldn't, we don't want you to cuss very much. And he said it's so much a part of him that he didn't want to change himself to just speak at that. So he has to be authentic, which I really admire. But anyway, somebody had asked him the question, what is the question that you hate? And he said he doesn't hate any of them. And part of the reason is because there's just a few things that are always effing us up. And I so get that. Like, because the whole purpose of my YouTube station or all the material that I put out is my life as the experiment. And so I'm sharing with you my life as the experiment. And but I don't want to just put out, like Gary Vee would also say that I should be posting, or we should be posting like a lot. So we should be posting at least 4 TikToks a day if we really want to get out there. And I have to ask myself, do I really want to get out there that much? I just don't know. I don't know. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was that I recently went to a conference in West Palm Beach, and it was on consciousness and human evolution, which is like right down my subject matter. And so I I was just I was just enthralled. I mean, I was just so drawn in by the material and the speakers. I had initially gone to see Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden, who are two of my people that I follow, that I admired them and their content. And and so I had gone for that, but I had learned a lot from the other speakers. So I ended up going to every single um, presentation. I was thinking that I might like ditch some of them, to go to the beach, or but I didn't. I didn't even get to the beach. There was no time. I thought it was so funny though, because when I was looking up the weather, there was like supposed to be rain and thunder and like lightning, um and there wasn't any like rain until I walked out of the last, like the end of the conference was over. I walk out and it's sprinkling. It was so funny. But that was the only time that I could actually get to the beach, and I decided to not, since it was raining. But anyway, but I wanted to share some of the biggest takeaway that I got from this conference. Was this woman spoke. She actually has a degree in quantum science of some sort, and she's a scientist. And her discoveries in her field really took her in a different direction, and that was of like this combination of science and spirituality having to do with the creation of reality, because the whole conference was about consciousness and the creation of reality. And so many of us are really learning that we create our reality, And, but what she said that like really just kind of hit home for me was that there's all of this space between. There's a space between like everything. like like even in the cells of our body, like there's so much space in the cells of our body and space between everything. It's like we don't really notice it because we're focused on what is. We're so focused on what is that we're not paying any attention to the space between. But what she said was that the magic is in the space between. And man, did that hit home for me. I was just like, I thought that was so cool. I mean, I spend like so much time in my head. I spend so much time in my imagination and my dream life, and and it doesn't come to physicality, but everything is in this space before it actually comes into our physicality. Absolutely everything. It spends some time in the space between before it actually comes into our physicality. And so even myself, like I find that it is easier to believe what is. It's easier to believe what is because it's sitting here, like I can see things, like my book is sitting here. I can see things, I can touch it, I can feel it. It's sitting right there. But this is a great example because this was a thought before it ever became the book, the actual physical reality. It was a thought. It was a, I guess what some would call a vibrational reality before it became a physical reality. So everything is a vibrational reality before it's a physical one. And so I've been doing that since I've been back. I've been practicing with that, just like the unknown, the unmanifest, the space between. And this thought that really is where the magic is. I don't know, it's just so inspiring for me. And then I don't know why, but as I'm talking to you all about this, I had this other takeaway. And that is, like, I mean, the truth of, because I've been reading these other books that I don't have right by me, so I can't show you, but I've been reading these books on basically physics. So I had told you all a few like a month ago, I had gone to a book festival with my daughter, and it was this running joke because I absolutely love Pride and Prejudice, but I've never read the book. The book, and my daughter was calling me a fake Pride and Prejudice. She called me a fake Jane Austen fan. She's like, "You're a fake Jane Austen fan." It was so funny, and she ended up buying me the Jane Austen, and I did look through it. I did peruse the book, but I have not read it word for word. But anyway, but I do read nonfiction. That's what I read. I am a nonfiction reader and have been, during my life. I just like nonfiction. But anyway. So I've been reading these books on like quantum physics, and the other thing that I just absolutely love about this is as I'm reading it, I'm realizing that some of these things that have come to my mind are actually in these books, so they're actually true. Like I had shared with you all, like there's this iCloud of information, and I don't know if there's anything called original thought and all of that stuff. And I'm like reading about it and reading about this idea that two things that are seemingly incongruent can both be true. It's crazy stuff. But anyway, back to my subject. And that is that our brain, what we send out, so we send out, our brain is literally like an antenna. and and it like sends out and receives information. And so what we're sending out, we receive. And we can see that in our lives. I mean, you know how that goes down. Like you wake up and your hair is like doing that really great thing, and you just love your outfit. You feel so good in your clothes. You have like this donut for breakfast. You're just like feeling fantastic. You had a really great night's sleep. You're on your way to work. You get to catch every green light. Everything is working out. Everybody's nice to you. You know how that is. You know how that is when you're in the zone and when you're sending out this beacon of positivity and love and goodwill. And then those days you wake up and you spill the coffee on your shirt and everything's going wrong. You're late. You're just, you're fighting traffic. You hit every red light. Those are just simple examples of a larger phenomena that I live feels like every second of every day, is practicing the art of believing that things are going to work out for me in a positive manner. One of the biggest things that I have been doing is, and I got to tell you this really quick story. I had gone to a little mini retreat, and the general room sometimes is this feeling of like competing or like scarcity, like generally like they're not going to get the right seat, or they're not going to, and there's this feeling, and it really like it comes up to me. But I decided to turn it around, and I thought, no, there's plenty. And as soon as I had that thought that there was plenty, this person in line that was right behind me, she like handed me a cup. And she said, and I was like, oh, well, go ahead. And she said, no, oh no, you go. And then she like handed me a second one. It was the weirdest thing. Like as soon as I changed the thought, the situation changed. It was that fast. Anyway, I just wanted to share that because I feel like those two little mini concepts are like really pertinent. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging in with me. It's almost my 4-year anniversary. Actually, that was yesterday, or no, Monday was my 4-year anniversary of doing these YouTubes. Wow, 4 years. It has been just such a delightful 4 years. Sometimes I think we just don't celebrate enough, right? Just gonna celebrate. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Love you. I'll be back.